The primary objective of the Early Learning Network is to advance the field's knowledge and understanding of early learning, development, and achievement for children in preschool and the early elementary grades. And we are endeavoring to do that by supporting a group of researchers who are going to conduct a set of studies to identify malleable factors that are associated with children's early learning and school achievement. So when we talk about malleable factors, we're talking about things in the environment at either the policy and systems level, the classroom level, or the student or child level that are changeable. We can intervene to improve the outcomes for children.
5 research teams across the country are collectively identifying practices and policies that make a difference for early children's learning. These 5 areas of the country are Nebraska, Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, and Boston. There's also a 6th team in California who is responsible for creating an assessment tool that we can use to go into classrooms and hone in on the specific practices that make a difference for children's learning.
Each research team will conduct a descriptive study of system-level policies and practices that are associated with early learning. They will also conduct a classroom observation study to look at teacher practices and other malleable classroom-level factors. And they will also conduct a longitudinal study to follow children over time to really look at what are the factors supporting their early learning and achievement as they transition from preschool to elementary school.
These are complicated questions. No single person's going to know all the answers, and you need to be able to do this kind of work in a collaborative environment. I think this has a real potential to help pull together a comprehensive and detailed view of kids' experiences in these early grades.
By combining our data sets together, we're able to answer more complex questions because we have much more variable classrooms. If I pull classrooms only in the state of Ohio, then all of my classrooms will have that same common denominator. But we have very different classroom structures, classroom ecologies, classroom policies that are happening in Nebraska compared to in Boston compared to in Ohio. So I think that putting all of that together is really where we can leverage the most out of this project.
One of the goals of the Early Learning Network is to make the data that each of the study teams are collecting publicly available so that researchers can look at it in a variety of different ways, look at kind of correlations or associations. The culmination of data that we will be having across all the studies is like no other data set that will be available.
The Early Learning Network will provide another generation of big data sets that can inform these decisions that too often have been made based on relatively small, unrepresentative studies. We will have enough data to really look at very important policy and practice questions.
It's the synergy that happens when you put really good researchers together. You get more than the sum of the parts. And that's the value of the network. One researcher, one center isn't going to be as innovative as a network.
So the ability that we will have as researchers to not only collectively work toward some of the same goals around education and opportunity for children, but also impacting practice and policy at a local, regional, and national level is unparalleled.